Let me ask you a ridiculous question. What if all the creatures ran off? They wanted to could cause us
Thing is, the Amazon rainforest has been described as the greatest natural battlefield on Earth because there's more life here than anywhere else, which means that everything here is fighting for survival. The trees are fighting for sunlight, the animals are fighting for prey, everybody's fighting for survival. So everything that you see here, everything around them will be killed, digested, recycled at some point. The jungle is really just a giant churning machine of death. Life is kind of small spaces where you maintain this collection of cells in a particular DNA sequence, and then it gets digested again and recycled back and renamed into everything. So the things in this forest, while they don't want to hurt us, there are things that are heavily dependent. Because, for instance, a giant anteater needs claws to bite off the jack. A stingray needs a stinger on its tail, which is basically a serrated knife with venom on it.
HellDivers, a second galactic war is upon us. Bugs and bots both menace democracy's heart.
Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods primed. Engaging orbital thrusters.
The thing is, as you learn, nothing here wants to get except for the perception of ignorance. Every other animal is
Orbit synchronized.
and exist in peace. That's it.
There is each of those animals have a kind of radiant defense.
Yeah.
If you accidentally step into its into
ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Go now, and fear the shadow of neither death nor tyranny.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing. Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area. Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Calling in an Eagle. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
You have maintained our way of life.
Even this seemingly beautiful little fern, if you go this way on the fern, you're fine. As soon as you go this way, there's invisible little spikes on there. Yeah, see that? It's like everything is dependent. If you're driving on the road and you have your arm out the side, or if there's a motorcycle going through the jungle, you get one of these, it'll just tear all the skin right off your body. Kind of do it.
What would you do if we were going to the dense jungle yesterday? You slide down the hill, you put slips, you slide down, and then you find yourself staring a couple feet away from a bushmaster snake. What do you do? You do someone unknown, somebody who loves, admires snakes, who has met thousands of snakes, has worked with them, respects them, evaluates them. What would you do?
It's nice. I've come face to face with the Bushmaster, and there's two reactions that you can get. One is if the Bushmaster decides that it's vacation time, if it's sleeping, if you just had a meal, they'll come to
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
Little spiral, big pile of snake on the trail, and they'll just sit. And one time there was a snake sitting on the side of a trail beneath a tree for 2 weeks. This snake was just sitting there, resting, digesting his food out in the open, in the rain, in the sun, in the night. Didn't matter. You go near it, barely even crack its tongue. Now the other option is that you get a bushmaster that's alert and hunting and out looking for something to eat.
HellDivers, a second galactic war is upon us. Bugs and bots both menace democracy's heart.
And made it very clear, I'm going to go this way. So I did the natural thing that any snake enthusiast would do, and I grabbed its tail. Now,
The enemy has launched a surprise attack on one of our planets. It needs our aid.
I will oblige.
Liberty calls for aid across the galaxy. Only you can decide where to answer.
You know, jaguar will turn and look at you and just remind you of how small you are.
Like, what did you see in the snake's eye? How did you sense that this is not? Right, this is
You must drive.
This is going to be your end if you proceed.
He was ready to, I wanted to get my video and show it to the people that were there, maybe work with the snake a little bit. As an 11-foot snake, the snake turned around and just his body went into the movement and mess of the neck. It was as if you pushed me and I went, it's gonna be my day. Like he just looked a little bit too ready at the music on my next. Okay, alright.
So you know.
You just know. Whereas like the snake you met last night, it's such a calm little thing, just focuses on eating baby lizards and little snails and things. And that snake has no concept of defending itself. It has no way to defend itself. So even something the size of a blue jay could just come and peck that thing in the head and swallow it. It's a helpless snake. So it's really, it kind of depends on the animal, depends on where you catch it. Each one has a different temperament.
Mission coordinates locked. Hell pods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters.
Also the tension.
Orbit synchronized.
It's such an incredible system of muscle that are all interacting together to make that kind of movement work. You look at skin on the scales. What do you love about the snake? My first experience with the snake, it's really solid. You have your snake, what do you love about the snake?
I think it's when you just spoke about it. That's the first tiny little snake. You spoke about it with so much light and pride. And I think that because we've been programmed to be scared of snakes, there's something wondrous that happens in our brain. Maybe it's just this joy of discovery that there's nothing to be scared of. And whether it's a rattlesnake that is dangerous and that you need to give distance to, but you look at it from a distance and you or it's a harmless little grass snake that you could pick up and enjoy and give to a child. They're just strange, legless animals.
Launch initiated.
They don't even have a sense of aware. They, to me, I'm
best of the best. Live up to your name. Live up to freedom.
And such simplicity. They're just to me,
Deploying sentry.
I'm friendly with snakes.
Friends with a snake. Be friends with a snake. You said some of them are sometimes aggressive.
Orbital strike incoming.
And though a reticulated python is up from the anaconda, it's a little on both sides. They have from boa constrictor to bushmasters to spitting cobra to grass snake, garter snake, everything else. Other snake does not threaten. So there's no such thing as an aggressive snake once you get outside of the anaconda, in particular. By aggression could be trying to eat you and predation, but for every other snake, rattlesnake is there, would either go escape and hide itself, or it would rattle its tail and tell us, come close. The cobra will put up and begin to hiss. Don't approach me. I'm asking you to be nice, not to mess with me.
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
Stay in the trees, or they're extremely camouflaged, but they're holding them out. All I want to do is be left alone. Once in a while, I just want to eat. Finally, when you see a snake, you're partly free. It's like seeing, it's the ultimate spirit in a life. It's like watching a snake touch its mouth to water, and you just see that little mouth going as they touch the water, and it's just so cool watching this scaled animal just be like a tiny water.
In a state of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby walleye.
Alright.
Baby king cobra.
Is it taking over the elephant?
They're like a, they can be a puddle and they just take it in for one time and be a snake rescue right.
Firing orbital strike.
It's a profession in India. You know, it had gotten into their kitchen or their backyard, and so we showed up and got the snake, and the snake rescuer knew the snake, and he went to me, he said, "Why do you think the snake would go in the house?" He was quizzing me, and I actually went, "You know, I don't know. If it's warm, is it cold? You know, like sometimes cats like to go into the warm parts in the winter. He's thirsty. You would watch this.
Deploying equipment package.
Now the snake is standing up. The snake stands up 3 feet tall. It's a huge king cobra, but a terrifying snake. It's weird. He leans over to the snake. The snake is standing in trouble. Human giving water to snake. Big, scary snake. But this human understood. The snake gets water. The snake gets released in the jungle and everybody's.
So sometimes he needs. And the sentry.
Sending down sentry. Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area. Orbital strike incoming.
That's the thing that actually mentioned with having that you see the collection. It's kind of incredible just to see a creature to try to identify a creature by just
Cats, sometimes we have greenish or bluish colored cats. The deer are usually white to orange. King, orange, backyard, snakes, usually orange moths, spider swamp. So you have all these different monsters, but jungle you can see all these different eyes. And when something large, like that deer did, the first thing is, what happens? I staring at that. You don't like kind of get, you see the reflection of the
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
first, actually, big bright line. It's hostile. That was deer. And when it did this,
Get some! Get some!
Jack right off.
Found something!
fascinating. Did you see the lot of different sizes of baby one? Pick the one. Tell me about these 16-foot plus.
Dad by hand, which is the largest reptilian predator. The Amazon, except for the anaconda, will share that notch of apex predator. They were actually hunted to endangered species.
That's called democracy!
And I was walking near a lake. I never understood how big it was, but I was walking near a lake last year, and I was following the drink of water, and all of a sudden this river otter running the other direction on the stream. The river otter comes up to me, and I swear to God, this animal looks at me like, hey, hey, I didn't expect to see you. And started running down the street. You did not answer the more about it because the animal was asking, but the river otter down the street, started running down the street. The river otter looks at me one more time and was like, yo, jumps into the lake. What does he want me to see? Now, in the lake, this river otter's doing dives, freaking out, going up and down, and they're very excited, screaming. I've never seen this much pepper. This flying down the water, all of the river.
Firing orbital strike.
Like 16.
Sending down sentry.
Crash or Taylor. They were zipping around and fighting, and then going around in this fire. Swear to God,
Found something!
You got spoiled, what expected, and you got to feel like your flag. How do you compare the explosive force you felt from that now?
It's difficult to describe it, but it's a lot of power. There's not much power that was at least it can generate power all by probably the tail of the monster. But just in that,
Found something!
not to mention the power of the fight that and the speed too. Because the thing I saw and got the experience is still calm, at least from a temperature perspective. It seems calm still, and then from that you see it signal just going wide. And then there's all kinds of decisions it makes, for the second whether
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
they heal on the way or not.
And that's where force became personality of the cities. So you can just like
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
Another triumph for managed democracy. May liberty guide your safe extraction.
Totally different game than you want to use. And spikes. They're like leftover, like they evolve during design. Pull my hand back. This came in the air, turned around, and give me one parting bug. Got one tooth right to the bottom of my finger.
KIA deploying replacement. Request approved. Reinforcements on the way. Ready to liberate!
It's ripped. It's a credit. Nature's metal sort of. What's the biggest problem? We were doing gaming surveys for years, and we would go out at night and try to figure out what the population of black gaming, especially gaming, school play gaming, war gaming, and the only way to see which gaming you're dealing with is to catch it. But if you get up close to the light, you can see the eye at night, but you can't quite see what species it is. For instance, this past few months we found two big black games on the river.
Extraction is available.
I started small ones. But God, I read about me and JB talked together, which was probably a little bigger than this table, and probably mid-20s bravado and species, but to me, trying to go into the effective. And I jumped on a respectable human that was slightly longer than I am. I'm 5'9", so I jumped on this probably 6 foot rock and quickly realized that my hands couldn't get around his neck. And my leg wrapped around the base of his tail, and the thrash was so intense that it took me one side. I barely had the time to realize what was happening before it beat me against the ground. My headlamp came off, so now I'm blind in the dark, laying in the Amazon, hugging the 6 foot crocodile.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
As I always do. Right in that moment,
Firing orbital strike.
It's like saying, like, oh, you know, I play fighting with my golden retriever versus I play fighting with, like, you know, what the biggest, scariest dog is. The dog with the sandlot, the giant gorilla dog thing, the mallet, something huge. Massive. Yeah, and that.
You mentioned dinosaurs. Look, they've been preparing their something prehistoric about their appearance, about their way of being, about their presence in the jungle.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
They're in a flat. It's like they've been. You talk about multiple extinctions. You talk about the 6th extinction, or going through all this stuff. About cockroaches, you've seen it all the time. They're like, man, we remember what that was. And they're not threats.
Yeah, they have this thick hair.
Sending down equipment package.
Yeah.
The simplicity of their body hair.
And they're just sitting there in the street. They're the nuclear holocaust, you know. And they're just stagnant water, waiting for the life to regenerate. So they
Gonna be the remaining humans first.
Orbital strike incoming. Deploying sentry.
Get some! Get some! Describe that. Head above water, eyes shut.
Yeah, so the other night,
Warning, you are leaving the mission area.
river, JJ, ready to get
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
in this thunderstorm in the Amazon River. All too far.
For prosperity!
Research station, you step on a stingray, get it. Nothing. So seeing the may
That's called democracy!
the territory where I feel
Out of ammo!
went under and my raft passengers over the flat.
especially at night, as we talked about. For me, what's scary is just the head close to the fire. It's like underwater, it's like what is it doing? It's having before it could be participation. Maybe one accomplish, you need to investigate. Maybe you got some food around you. Maybe it's not.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
Fire in the hole! Mag's empty! Ah!
Head up. So these came, again, think of it as a bigger threat than animals, but and the smaller species, smooth-fronted caiman, dwarf caiman, and crested caiman, they're not going to, again, at the worst, if you are doing something inappropriate with a caiman, you jumped on it and were trying to do research and fit your hand and take your hand off. It's the only time I've been walking down the river and stepped on a caiman. The caiman just swims away. So in my mind, the caiman, the peaceful dragon that sit on the side of the river, me, they all do. And I worry about problems too much in this river. I put my caiman in the curious humans.
Throwing grenade!
People propaganda because a local person so these are really people they're just cleaning their pots in the river at night and they see eyes come near them because the caiman probably smells fish. Why? Because they want to see. They're just curious looking for them.
Let's analyze the study, but
Mission at 20 minutes remaining.
Democracy needs me!
Extraction is available.
Just a bit of a misunderstanding.
Sending down sentry.
With the piranha and the stingray and the kangaroo.
Freedom never rests! Have a taste of democracy!
There is danger out there, but the danger part. Ways to die and different ways to live in an expedition. Or it's just twisting your ankle, breaking your foot. And get hurt in the stupidest of ways. In a non-dramatic, eating alive method.
It strikes me as unfair because humans were still in our minds so programmed to worry about that predator. What predator? We killed it. Why caimans are coming off the endangered species list? We exterminated wolves in North America. I actually heard a suburban lady one time tell her son, watch out, foxes will get you. Rabbits, mice.
Well, the kids make their experiments. They really are
Orbital strike incoming.
Celebration and won't work.
HellDivers never die!
that
I need stems!
once and that thing all the acceleration power.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Protection, or something. I don't know, like the bottom looking at
Deploying equipment package.
that feels like power, but also design really well.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
You ever see the national the side by side image of I think it's a Falcon and flight next to a stealth bomb and they're almost the exact same design. It's incredible. That
We'll see if we're going to rock. And that's the tank, but it has one of the ultimate world
yeah, there may not be a machine war machine jaw. No.
the old bridge to just monsters. It was, I don't know, it was really
HellDivers KIA. Deploying replacement. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Joining the fray!
If a rhino is dangerous to you, because the rhino is rhino can be dangerous. You know, like they're really pretty calm. They're really incredible giant animals. Largest animals on the planet. When I came and it almost reminded me of Game of Thrones. And it was like this memory. It's like, yeah, we used to have this. We used to have stellar sea captains, manatees. There were things we used to have. The cat stained tiger that almost our lifetimes. And it's that's mind blowing. That's one piece of the child.
Firing orbital strike. Deploying sentry.
I remember looking at the nightlight party Ryan. I was so upset. Those reports that heard a lot of reports when the former was just had a female. He could live 6, 7, 8-year-old. That's what she was. Well, I'm just trying to get away. You know, people out there. Yeah. You know, there's a girl that Alvin and Steve Irwin both.
Yeah, I've heard of that. And it looked all the time. I've seen things.
They've seen things that there's a great they're like keeping him like being incongruous with our time. Like he did nothing to stop slavery. He didn't fight against it. Oh shit.
That was well in the
Extraction is
you
available.
mentioned Viking that had auto control tape at predators. So it seems like the reason they can exist in similar environments is to compete on slightly different things. wasn't awesome. Just read that Anaconda's came in without that came in. How often do they come up?
So anacondas and caiman occupy the exact same niche. And they're born at the exact same size. And unlike most species, they don't have sort of a size range that they're confined to. They start this big. Big caiman are this big. Big anacondas are a little longer, but they're thinner and they don't have legs. So it's the same thing in terms of mass. And they're all in the streams where the edges of the lakes or swamps. And so baby anacondas, baby caiman can't really take down an anaconda. They're going through little insects and fish. They have quite a small mouth. So they, again, it's in their interest to hide from everything. A bird, a parrot, eat a baby caiman. So they have to survive. Anaconda became kind of jump as they grow.
Deploying equipment package.
Like with the first restriction that you didn't.
Yes, so anacondas have kind of a constriction system where their first thing is anger. This is from
You'd be like, oh,
Deploying sentry. Extraction is available.
They went here, look, and not to recharge. Not gonna get out. You said it's okay. I read the stream, and I see it.
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
It's a mission. Well, sure, what's that here?
Mission map updated.
This year. Like the sound of a wet stick snap. It's just that bone crunch. And I looked down, and it's about a 16-foot anaconda wrapped around, fresh, killed, wildlife. And what this anaconda had done was, as all the pigs were broken, the anaconda had grabbed it by the jaw, swiped the legs, wrapped around it, bent it in half, and then crushed its ribs. And that's what the anaconda do, whether it's to mammals, to caiman, it's all the same thing. It's grab on, they have a fixed road of backward facing teeth. But once they hit you, they're never gonna, you actually have to go deeper into it. All those backward facing teeth, they have an incredible anchor system and use their weight down to help. You down into that.
You will never destroy our way of life!
And so, every breath you take, you're up against a barrier. You know, you exhale, they go a little tighter, you're never going to get that space back. Your lungs are never going to expand again. And I know this because I've been in that crush. JJ pulled me out of it. So this pig, the anaconda got in, as the pig was crashing, the anaconda wrapped around the bed and happened. And I just got to hurt my dog. So it came at the same thing. He ran out there, ran around it, and crush it until
Extraction request confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
long time, no response, probably down, overpowered, dead no reposition, probably yawn a little bit, open their jaw, and then forcing that entire. Now here's the crazy thing, is that an anaconda has stomach acid capable that I guess
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear. ETA T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds. HellDivers outside extraction radius. Pelican 1 aborting pickup. Extraction is available.
Get some!
This is the stomach and then you like gun. Does it feel like when an anaconda is wrapped around you, you find yourself
Have a taste of democracy!
shocking realization that these people class 1 3. You are confronted with there's so much power, so much crushing and deliberate reptilian ancient power that doesn't exist. They're just trying to get you to stop. I find we dream of and that came out of a smash. So it's just possible.
Throwing grenade!
HellDiver KIA deploying replacement. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
HellDiver, reporting to the front!
Orbital strike incoming.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes left. Liberty speed your step, HellDiver.
How about a nice cup of liberty? Fire in the hole!
Deploying sentry.
My question
Have a taste of democracy!
and never getting off the couch like running up the wall. Well, this ran
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear. Firing orbital strike.
So,
Sending down sentry.
actually, friends of mine, and
Sending down equipment package.
for me began at that story. I'm hoping that coming up the stream of what the Anaconda had been and then
How about a nice...
Health reinforcement budget depleted.
led the process.
Request approved. Deploying super destroyer.
Pelican 1 returning to extraction point.
Extraction shuttle
Please ensure you're
deployed.
inside the extraction radius.
First to put a transmitter in the Anaconda right around here.
Fire in the hole!
And that's what this paper is showing. They do move up and down using streams as corridors through the forest. They actually do pursue their prey. They actually do seek out food. So, I mean, think about it. It's a giant anaconda. Obviously, it's not. You can't just sit in one spot. You have to put some wolves. They're using communication. Use streams.
ETA T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
See, it's sizable anaconda. The shallow stream, it moves not just in the water, but in the sand. Of course, it also lets it burrow a little bit. They burrow quite a bit. So these large snakes operate subterranean in ways. At the time, it's always the tracker. You go to the telemetry set, and it'll say, like, we'll be over the snake.
ETA T-minus 1 minute.
Snake is down through a recess under the side of the stream. You saw it last night, where all the fish have their holes through the side of the stream. There was a 6-foot warp pipe right in the so under there. They have their system. Yeah, we walked by it. We stuck his head out. We thought we'd gone, and then we turned around and decided once I was in front of the line.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
How about a nice cup of liberty?
ETA T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds.
Since that time, these guys have been continuing to study speed, continuing to build.
Pelican 1 approaching pickup. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing. Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Another victory for the right side of history.
To be able to observe it over time, to learn its habits, or to put a radio transmitter on it, or to take any sort of valuable information from the experience is almost impossible. And so a lot of the stuff that I wrote about in Mother of God, about jumping on anacondas and trying to catch them, and at first it just seemed like something we were doing to learn to just try and see them, but it ended up being that we were wildly trying to figure out methodology that would have scientific implications later on. Allowing us to try and find the largest anacondas. And people used to say there's no way that 25 foot, 27 foot, well, there's that video of the guy swimming at 20 foot. And so now, as we keep going, we're going, maybe through drone identification, we can find where the largest anaconda is. And then, it's sort of a side quest.
So by doing these kinds of studies, you figure out how they move about the world, what motivates them when they hunt, where they hide in the world, as the size of the anaconda change. So all of that, those are scientific studies.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so much that we don't know about this forest. We don't know what medicines are in this forest. We don't know, with a lot of the 1,500, there's something like 4,000 species of butterflies in the Amazon rainforest, and of the 1,500 species that are here in this region, all of them have a larval stage, caterpillars, right? And each of the caterpillars have a specific host plant that they need to eat in order to become a successful butterfly to enter the next life cycle. And for most of the species that fill the butterfly book, we don't know what those interactions are. I recently got to see the white witch, which is a huge moth. One of the two largest moths in the world. It's the largest moth by a winged span. Huge, looks like a bird. Big white moth. We still, I believe that we still don't know what the caterpillar looks like. It's 2024. We have iPhones, peanut-shaped rocket ships. Like, we don't know where that moth starts its life. Yeah, we still haven't figured that out.
By the way, rocket ships are shaped that way for efficiency purposes, not because they wanted to make a look like a penis. Speaking of which, I've ran across a lot of penis movies. I know it's not a thing with my mind, and I'm pretty sure they're real. In fact, you explained it to me, and they make me very uncomfortable. There's a lot of penises hanging off the tree. I don't know what the purpose is. Who there's a try. It certainly makes, but certainly Paul like the really enjoys them.
Yeah. Well, clearly you've done some research.
I covered that a lot. There was a time when I fell and to catch my balance, I had to grab one of the penises with the penis string, and I forget. Anaconda, the biggest, baddest anaconda in the Amazon versus the biggest, baddest black caiman. Because you mentioned there's a fight, the CFC, the cage wins underwater.
Biggest and the baddest.
Biggest and the baddest. Do you have can imagine given all the studies you've done to species?
So you talk about an 18-foot, several hundred-pound black caiman versus a 26-foot, 350-pound anaconda. Yeah, I think it's a death stalemate. I think the caiman slams the anaconda, bites onto it. The anaconda wraps the caiman, and they both thrash around until they both kill each other. But I think the caiman will tear him up so bad.
And the caiman's not gonna let go.
Caiman's never gonna let go, but then he's gonna realize that he's also being constricted, so then he's gonna stop. He's gonna keep slamming down on that anaconda, and the anaconda's just gonna keep constricting. But the caiman can do enough damage before the end. It's almost like a striker versus jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get enough elbows in before they lock you.
How fast is the constriction? That's pretty steady.
It's incredibly quick. So it's you take the back and get me in a chokehold. It's that. I have maybe 30 seconds, maybe on the upward side if you haven't cinched it under my throat. But if you've gotten good position, so
is there any way to unwrap the choke, undo the choke?
Not unless you have outside help. Unless you have another human or another 10 humans coming to unwrap the tail. Help you, but for an animal, like if a deer gets hit by an animal, they don't stand a chance.
So the black caiman would bite somewhere close to the head, and then just try to hold on and thrash.
Yeah, I don't think of large black caiman. Here's the thing: every fisherman knows they're the biggest fish, and more importantly, they're shrewd. They're careful. A huge black caiman, just 16 feet long, isn't gonna be messing with me. Like they won't cross paths because while they technically occupy the same type of environment, that black caiman's going to have this deep spot in the lake, and that anaconda's going to have found this floating forest, like sort of black stream backwater where it's going to be, and they'll have made that their home for decades, and they'll already have cleaned out the competition. So maybe if there was a flood and they got pushed together, they could have some sort of a showdown. But almost more certainly is that when they get to that size, that caiman, at any sign of danger, boom, right under the water. It's almost like, even if you, what do you learn when you're a black belt? You know, what do you do with a street fight? You still run away. There's no reason for a street fight. And I think the animals really understand that. There's no reason for this.
So like a giant anaconda, a black caiman, they could probably even coexist in the same environment, just using the wisdom to avoid the fight.
Or they would have a big showdown, and one of them would keep a dire after. Nature. One of the things that we had brought up was that I thought the yellow-tailed creepo, what rat is eating in Octopus melanogenes, which is the red thing we found this night. scientific literature, we've never seen a Kribo eating nuts roast. And so I had the observation of the field, I managed to patch champagne, I writes it up, okay. And so it's like, it's this really cool, that's a really
2011
JJ's dad is on Anaconda. He inside the cap. And that guy didn't, you know, we trust his will. He saw enough stuff he didn't need to make us. You know, doing it now is what you notice when you add people. We were going up the mountain with Jimmy, and JJ said to him, he goes, have you ever seen a puma up here in the mountain? Jimmy goes, they're up here. And JJ went, no, have you seen it? Jimmy went, no, never seen it. And you know how most people, yeah, I've seen it. That makes me trust the person. Actually,
They're up here. I haven't seen it. And Jimmy put in there his whole life. It wasn't in the mountains.
you know, mountain lions, and other names. They're from, I think, full blood has got down to Argentines. They're everywhere. It's an extremely successful species. From the deserts to high mountains.
I think humans have a curiosity, have a way about them where they like just to kind of figure out like just have curiosity versus like just have to harm them. You know, that's not like what is this about?
I think it's based in predatory instincts, but I believe they're like higher intelligence than you don't need it from them.
I haven't had a problem watching my
Things like when they're going to see you look at it, they have to check you out.
I need to reach her.
That's what you say.
I used to
Think of something like
Sean and so we used to like, oh, it worked. Yeah,
that's what I think, yeah. I'm going to out of the house, you're looking at me sleeping. And it's like, they can't check me out. Like, it's like they're smart enough and they're brave. And here's the important thing, they know that they can fend for themselves. They can find big about you know, curious. I got time, let me check this out.
Yeah, they got information. But they're complex and sophisticated than the world model is. They're integrating all that information. That's what the insects are, what creatures are, what inside rather than just storage of them to keep all of that and keep this sort of stuff. They to integrate the experiences they have into a dish that's tasty.
I think it's more complex than we realize. Go back to that principle of there's so many incredible things.
It just told how many steps I did last time I did it.
The researchers weren't understanding how to shed speak, so it's you didn't understand the types of intelligence. And whether that's elephants, cats, so big cats for instance. We just saw a camera
I just don't see what the hell it means.
where you see one of our workers walk down the trail and
Then you press the button. Yeah.
power button of this just
I got everything on a lap.
you're out there, there's cats,
400 megabits here.
all these animals out there, and we're out in the night, in the inky black night in this ocean of the tree, just exploring, getting to see everything, all these little islands, probably tied about each other. It's the most exciting thing.
One of the things you do when you turn off the internet, complete darkness.
I said, I'm doing this.
Just stop.
Everything you hear, cicadas, birds, they're all screaming about sex.
I told it
They're
fine.
trying to get ready. All of them are making
Everything's
mating.
allowed.
I guess to make your mating call about attraction.
Sometimes when it doesn't update or something.
What amazes me is that us, it's so from the
This is dad's on the other one.
part to having this incredible being of you know, all the we look at the jungle and walk through that darkness, then we're seeing them. The snakes moving through the underwood, and the deer sneaking through the shadow. It's like it's almost as supernatural kind of training thing with people. Doing something really
Oh, but they're
weird.
smart one.
Land out. So walking through the jungle at night, you just get this freak show of biodiversity. And
Except for the times last year, the Dodge from
you can categorize it. But I think I'm going to go back through the jungle. Not every step. Really hard work every step every step is a full possibility of hurting yourself in a multitude of ways. You just lost in that under a week. Full during you step through like you like and go to not be able to done. All the way to dance that we bring you a little longer. And there's snakes and spiders. And a favorite that I've gotten to know intimately is different plants with different defensive mechanisms. One of which is just fight. Sure. You know, I don't know if you brought it. This topic of this type of fights. There's so many trees in this place. They're obvious places that was not obvious, but innocent as you take a step through the dense jungle, being innocent, it's in your hand on that tree, and you just your experience, your life, right? And it's your hand, like 30, 50 spikes.
Don't just smell it.
Changing
Live
up.
it.
That's just a completely different experience from going out on the trail where you're observer of the jungle versus the participant in it. And it truly is extreme to take every single step.
Now, just think. I think scientific people like to get really, really sort of cavalier with our progress. We've already explored the ecosystem because in between each tributary is, let's say just between some.
Despite immense sacrifice, we
Coordinates locked.
Hell
Hellpods prime.
There it is. They have to
Engaging orbital thrusters.
but their digital science is what I'm play out. So many of the areas in this jungle
Orbit
society
synchronized.
and places where people do research. See, I've been down here long enough. I see all the PhDs come down here and they all go to the same two research stations. They're safe. They have bed. If you get hella drop, the jungle, the deepest, most remote parts, you're gonna find microecosystems. You're gonna see little species variation. You're gonna see a type of flower that Jade had never seen before. As you start walking through new patches of forest, you start finding new species. Everything here changes. You just go a little bit upriver, and the animals you see different. You go to this side of the river versus on the north side of the river. There's two other species of primates there that don't exist here. That's in the mountain cave, the emperor tamarins and the pygmy marmosets in the rainbow sound.
Yeah, the male papers looking at the diversity of life in this one region in the Amazon. Can you talk more about that? Because the animal diversity along the
Hellpod launch initiated.
Once again, not a good passion. He was sort of leading on this with a bunch of scientists. Oxford, myself, I really just I got to
Go now,
only
and fear the shadow of neither death nor tyranny, for justice is your cause.
Emperor Tamaryn on this river. And that's exciting. It's exciting because
Firing orbital strike.
post picture or share a scientific
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
I'll tell you, and so we're coming together to try and answer that.
Like guys don't want to do it. Yeah, it's really blurry and it's transparent. Is there a species that are like extremely bad? If you look up how many trees are in the Amazon, it's something in the order of 40 trees. There's something like 70 to 80,000 species of plants. Individual types of plants here, 1,500 species.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
So vast that it's terrible. The scale of stars, galaxies.
Orbital strike incoming.
Sheer immensity. So we'll describe just walking through the trail at night, being behind us. You know, you see a tiny spider hidden in a crevice. As scientists have seen that, there's still so much that's here. You know, we had pictures of all these butterflies. Somebody went out with butterfly networks, butterfly. Took a picture of it, gave it a name, put it in the butterfly. What do we know? What host plant do they use for their caterpillars? What's their geographic range? What do we actually know? Not that much. Are there creatures out here that we can describe? Absolutely.
And some of them could be extremely effective predator in niche environment.
Yeah. I mean, certainly.
There's something here.
50% of life can at very limited access to canopy all distance. You know, if you wanted to get up into the great low canopy, basically have to climb the vine, or what scientists, when I was a kid, I used to see slingshots with bow and arrows. They would shoot a piece of paracord over a branch, pull the rope up, and then do the ascension thing. And when you come in this tree, you're warmed by sweat bees, getting stung by wasps. You're trying to do science up there in that environment. It's incredibly hostile. So having I actually met a guy at a French film festival who had used hot air balloons to float over the canopy of the Amazon and lay nets over the broccoli of the trees. And that's enough for humans to walk up the nets and cactus. That scientists have resorted to using hot air balloons. Treehouse have canopy platforms.
Firing orbital strike.
More and more access to the rainforest canopy, so we've even observed in our treehouse all over the world. We're seeing lizards that we don't see on the ground, lizards that never been back on this river. Like we're seeing snakes where they're saying some snake inside a crevice on that creating administrative. It's just people.
Hell bomb. Request approved. On its way now.
Just a lot of
Yeah, when you wake up in the canopy in the morning in the Amazon rainforest, as soon as that the darkness lifts, as soon as that purple comes in the east,
Hell bomb arm! Clear the area!
And then the parrots timidly start going. Pretty soon everybody Spider-Man all falling to each other, and it's just a hold on for it story. It's so exciting.
So you're saying when they're screaming, it's
Second territory. Right about this. I mean, howler monkeys in the morning, they're letting other groups know this is where we're at. We're getting foraging over here. You better get away. So it's a little bit respectful as well. There's order in chaos.
So just speaking of screaming, you caused beautiful creatures. They're lifelong partners. You think together should we go out and see some monogamous, you see two of them together. But when they communicate their love language, it seems to be
Main objective near your position.
What do you learn about relationships in the book?
That it can be loud and rough and still be loving is the rule.
But is that interesting to you that there's like monogamy in some species that they're lifelong partners and they're lacking monogamy?
It's all in there's the anti-monogamy.
Orbital strike incoming.
Throwing grenade!
it's beneficial for them to work together to do things. It's difficult. They rely on ironwood trees.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
And each one of those ancient trees, people 500 years or more, is a valuable pod generating site in the forest. So if the trees go down, you lose exponential amounts of pods, and that's how you get rid of the trees. So that's why we're trying to
Deploying equipment package.
Another ridiculous question. If every jungle creature was the same size, it would be a predator without like
Dude, that's like Super Smash Brothers. And like bullet ants, you had a bullet ant that was the size.
High priority target eliminated.
it would be like a predator.
So everyone is pound for pound ratio.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 6-foot bullet ant versus a huge like ocelot inside of jaguar.
Yeah. Well, let's go bullet ant versus fight. But there's like comparable same size.
Firing orbital strike.
That amount of venom we're talking about, kid of venom into that black king, paralyzed immediately.
Insects have just a tremendous strength. I don't know how to put it genetically, but natural warfare does have the same kind of power that big rig thing. Things like ants and like just these tiny creature war, they have tremendous strength. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, but if leaf cutter ants lifting that leaf, that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't know if that's a limit of physics. I think it's just a limit of evolution. That works.
One of the most interesting limits that I heard somebody talking about recently is the reason that dinosaurs can get bigger, even bigger, because it's at some point there's limits that their eggs or you have a shell that holds the mass of the liquid and the young dinosaur. They got bigger. Or it can't pass air.
Yeah, there might be a lot of biophysics limits. It's like the biology, chemistry. This thing is a lot involved in creating
It's awesome. You're talking about mid-size, 40, 50 pound line. It's going after the deer. Catches deer. The deer can table with these
Firing orbital strike.
Eggs. You can kill a bird too. Kill a snake. Maybe mess around and eat a baby king. They can have everything. And they're smart.
Thought outpost spotted!
I want without taking on big risks. Huge animals. Onslaught. I would say giant so like swim through the water and they're so joyous in the way they swim and they have friends and they have family. I think we could relate to being a river otter really. I can't picture being a cat and being so solitary. You're just marching along a 15-mile route and making sure you know other cats and coming in on your territory and marking your territory. It seems very solo.
the lonely existed only, and we humans are social.
so. Me, river otters like have the biggest time for them. Constantly eating, you're freaking out. You know, there's like causing problems with the black caiman. Goes down with the black caiman. It's a family thing. You mentioned piranhas.
I found
We're
something.
getting, you know, there are sorts of a lot of different people. What do you find beautiful or fascinating about this creature? They're also dinosaurs, or at least they operate in groups. Yeah, not in the mammalian way, though. Piranhas are in large schools, but I could talk to you all day about how much I love to be an otter. Also, going back to the fighting thing, otters and weasels, muscle, they tend to be very loose in their skin. If you grab an otter, it's still rotating around. Right? It's like if I grab you by the back,
Liberty, shield me.
you grab them by the skin, they can rotate around and break apart. So they're really cool fighters. Piranha fish, I don't identify with fish in terms like that. I think living out here has made me think of fish as kind of rapid food that can't be got. But to me, a piranha.
There's
is
something
just,
here.
When I see a piranha, I think about how. Yeah, so like a fish is a food source for so many creatures in the jungle. They're primarily, but piranhas are. They're predators. They're serious predators. They are serious predators. I found a baby black caiman not that long ago, and he was missing all of his toes. But the piranhas had eaten them all. It was really sad. He just had these stumps and he was swimming around the water, and I was like, you are not going to make it. He was like 8 inches, and he was such a cute little puppy with those big eyes. And I was just like, man, you already are missing all these toes. But just a matter of time. Now he can't get away, so some big Gandhi heron is going to come and just nail him down his throat. That's the end of that for the chamber. Sure. Fight off a little bit.
Firing orbital barrage, clear the area.
Go to like some other PC, and then that's it. Like that story we heard about that guy the other day. Caught a stingray on a fishing boat. Chopped its tail.
Main objective nearby.
The stingray. Then people will have fish back. To me, that is.
Freedom triumphs over tyranny once more. The extraction shuttle awaits your request.
Or if you want to save the animal, then don't maim it before you return it to it. There's such a weird.
So if you kill an animal, you want to use it to its fullest by using it as a food source. By cooking it, by eating every part of it, all that.
Yeah. So we have eating hot. Right. Totally tell it makes me feel like it's better workout, so you go harder in the gym. And so a few months ago, in August, when the river was down, and a friend of mine, Victor, married to a
Firing orbital strike.
time we were stuck out here. Everyone was demoralized, the staff we worked with here. It really became this thing of like, hey, it was really working the trail,
Firing orbital barrage, clear the area.
this huge fishing rod. I'm saying that
Fire in the hole!
big metal mouth to try to shut that fish off. And it's this huge oar-shaped, thick, muscular taco. And as soon as I saw the fish, I thought about the strongest of this species. Millions of years.
Firing orbital barrage, clear the area.
Through this incredible combination of core, and skill. Chance that you're going to morning vision, you got 3 pockets. 3 huge giant areas of rock. I just remember touching them with so much reverence, thinking about the
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
these rivers existed, but swimming through the water, trying to survive through history until this, until we took just a few. We didn't respect what we did it, but we needed it most at the time. But it was just for fun, and it was really.
I found something.
Humans using them for supplements. There's a collaboration. That's something. Each other. Ants. Mutually using each other. It's parasitic, symbiotic. It's interesting. There's grab that were ants that were like trying to
Found something!
There's clear dance that the ants use that is there for other applications and other uses of humans. But the ants were the plant didn't have its own aspects. The ants were the ants instead.
Did you actually get bitten by one of those? Because they're incredibly deep.
Yeah,
Run. They're like,
yeah, it's practically too small that they just left it. But we have not been viable in it yet.
but it's just amazing. It lives inside the tree. The tree comes in and holds it that allow the ants to move and to exist safe. And it protects their eggs. And they keep the tree. And then we saw that spot, the perfect circle around the trees. The ants can excavate the other vegetation so that those trees can have no competition to grow.
Tactical asset near your position.
How ants know develop programs to garden that tree, and the tree somehow has been genetically informed to have ant habitat within itself. It's mind blowing. That actually is the foundation of a lot of existential confusion, because how the hell is this possible?
Yeah, but one of the things you mentioned that's also a lot of explanation for me is the intelligence of different creatures. There's these giant colonies, there's just giant systems. Maybe just looking at a single colony of ants collaborating with our ants is an incredible system. So individually, the ants are kind of dogs, but taken together, there is a vast intelligence operating that's able to
Mission at 20 minutes remaining.
conditions beyond any environment able to be facilitating kinds of attacks. What do you view of this?
Like as you said, just leave our ants. Forgetting all the other hundreds of ants that are in this jungle. Just the leaf lifters. Apparently, that jet.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear. Orbital barrage
think we'll stay here until the ship goes down.
You just mentioned it. Like, Robert. What is it? Yes.
I'm saying it was
Orbital strike incoming.
resonated.
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
How about a nice cup of liberty?
The rainforests represent the downstream.
Extraction is available.
Everything is everything needs
Must defend prosperity.
Little tiny nuclear somehow contributes.
HellDiver KIA deploying replacement.
I love that.
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Challenge for us.
HellDiver reporting to the front.
The best thing. More beautiful part than we really realize.
Yeah, the diversity of organisms here is the biggest solution of life. And world first of these. That said,
Extraction is available.
Have a taste of democracy.
why do you think that
Fire in the hole.
Especially if it was done, especially, you know, imagine finding a planet, alternative life forms, not necessarily even in dark times, not in the water spots, whatever, something else. That would be amazing, but I'm concerned with the reality that we have in front of us, that this is creation, this is life, yeah. And so right now, given that reality, maybe there are other planets. Maybe we are the first. Maybe life originated. Maybe God, the universe, whatever. Maybe this is it. This is the testing ground for something bigger to happen. And this complexity, this diversity of life, and this life that we have is that. And I think that part of what we do, we go, oh yeah, but this is the planet. First of all, we're taking an assumption into reality. I mean, you know, aliens right now are about a real sin. I think they're out there, not sure, a little more real, you know, it makes sense.
You may proceed to extraction when ready.
So, I'm not studying it, but we have this very simple threat going on where we can't stop killing each other in our living environment. And so while some people specialize in looking at the stars and to other planets and talk about the interplanetary species, I'm very much concerned with the fact that here in our home turf, our living environment, the rivers between, the trees between, the clouds flying through the sky, salmon in the rivers. Not only do we have a responsibility to each other and to our children to protect this incredible gift that is our entire reality, it seems kind of weird to, at some point, conservation seems kind of, you're begging people to not do things to keep them alive. It's almost kind of silly. But we have this incredible thing where there are fish in the ocean and rivers that can stand life on Earth, and we're harming the ability of Earth to provide for that life. And we are the generation that stands inside those systems continue to provide life on all the generations. And by the way, all the other
Freedom never rests!
So I'm more biocentric than anthropocentric in that I think that nature is important, but I also believe that we are special. We are the most intelligent animals. One I agree with is some degree to which when you imagine aliens, you forget for a moment how special and what life is. But it's also a way to reach out through curiosity, trying to understand what is
Allied
intelligence, what is consciousness, what is
Squadron.
the thing that makes life special.
The bridge.
Another way of doing that, and I see the jungle in that same way, is basically treating the animals all around us, the life forms all around us, as kind of aliens. That's a humbling way. That's an intellectual
Mission coordinates locked.
study.
Hellpods primed.
This is truly incredible. Like, are the animals we've met over the last few days just what is the nature of their intelligence? Their consciousness, their quality stuff? Are they individual creatures, or are they actually part of the large system? How large system? Earth, one big system, and humans are just little fingertips of that system? Or are each of the individual animals really the key actors, and everything else is in the emerging complexity of the system? So I think thinking about aliens is a necessary, like my town, a little drop of poison from ways. It's a necessary perturbation of the system of our thinking to sort of say, hey, we don't know what it is. And aliens is a nice way to say, okay, the mystery all around us is immense. Because to me, likely, aliens are living among us. Not in a trivial sense, little green men, but the force that created life, I think, permeates the entirety of the universe. That there is a force that's created. Now,
Launch initiated.
The fate of all humanity's children are in your hands. Do not let them fall.
But that's different than saying that there's you tell me that there's aliens living 5 galaxies over and they're just kind of more on your side than that.
Deploying support weapon.
You know, it's like Bigfoot. Like, we can't do it. We can't hit water. You tell me,
Deploying sentry. High priority
particles to be like on planet Earth. So they're, even if it's just their clothes, we cannot just be comprehended. I think it's possible that they operate in the space of ideas with them, that ideas can be aliens, humans can be aliens, consciousness itself can be aliens. But we can't restrict our understanding of what is a life form to think that it's a biological creature that operates via natural selection on this particular planet. It could be much more sophisticated. It could be a space of computation, for example. As we in the 21st century are developing increasingly sophisticated computational systems, artificial intelligence could be operating on some other level that we can't even imagine. It could be operating on a level of physics that we have not even begun to understand. We barely understand quantum mechanics. We use it. Quantum mechanics is a way we use very high information to understand why operating that way. And there's so many gigantic, powerful computations out there that
Pulling equipment package.
that's out there. We know it exists, but we can't explain why. What it is. We give it names, black holes, dark matter. Those are all names for things that mathematical equations predict. We don't understand. So, but now, so aliens in a strict biological sense, like aliens is if aliens are trying to communicate with humans. Communicate with us, so we don't humans will understand.
Yo, there's a lot. This is a small eagle.
Just try to get us 15 minutes of
It just might.
man of the pod there.
Okay. Lex, I love you. All right. So what could be interesting, really fascinating to me, if we found out that there were aliens that you couldn't see, and what some of the people were calling aliens, the scientists, the religious people were calling angels, and then everybody had this realization that whether you call them aliens or angels, there are these other things.
Firing orbital strike.
That I found on the floor of an indigenous community with 80 monkeys. I didn't kill the monkey. But in terms of the animals, I think that when I see space, it might be. I'm not requiring anybody else to have this space, but because we know, because it's the only place that we know that there's, we don't get how it started. I think it's so important to protect it.
Coming in hot.
And for me, it's just as much about games that are in the river right now because life is so beautiful. And I think that there's a huge amount of intellectual responsibility that we can transfer off of ourselves. So, yeah, the rivers are filled with trash, and yeah, extinction is happening. We could be an interplanetary species anyway, because at any moment, this could all end from an asteroid, and like everything's going to shit anyway. And so it's like, we're, this planet. It's like that's we're just being angry teenagers, going goth for a while. It's like, what if we just rolled up your sleeves and said, "Holy shit!"
Liberty.
Netflix and the Amazon if we wanted to. Maybe stuff we could capture on video or invention. Incredible opportunity that allows us to do with the richest history. The whole planet in seconds. That's amazing time. We just don't fuck up. Yeah,
So it is true that we can destroy ourselves and nuclear weapons, but it also is true that that snake that I got to handle yesterday is like one of the most beautiful things Earth has ever created. In that little organism, it's encapsulated the entire history of Earth. It's beautiful. So both things are true. We should worry about the essential destruction of human civilization with the weapons we created. And we should become the multi-planetary species as a backup for that purpose. But also remember, this place is really, really special. Probably, if not difficult, probably impossible to recreate elsewhere. And by the way, there's still a lot of skull.
Yeah. If you ever hold a human skull, it'll give you. It'll weigh on you for a second. You look into this hollow eyes of this space, and suddenly you go, feel your own cheek. You feel your own skull, and go, holy shit. You go, what is going on? It's like taking acid. I forgot that I'm a ghost and having a leap year on a floating rock.
But even a monkey, it's like looking at a ancestor. You know,
Sending down sentry.
it's like a, you know, probably like a country. It's not the jungle
Orbital strike incoming.
That's what I see.
Freedom has prevailed. Now head to the extraction point.
Terrifying about that image. When I hold that skull, it just reminds you that you're tempted.
Yeah, both you and I will one day have one of those.
And they'll go back, slaps.
You know what I mean? What are your favorite?
Well, they're so smart and so complex that we do a really bad job of understanding what it is. I think that most children,
Hellbomb. Request approved. On its way now.
most adults probably think of a similar misconception. When you see, you know, what it's called, it's making huge
Hellbomb, mark! Clear the area!
do I have to kill him to keep safe? And because
Mission at 30 minutes remaining.
I've gotten really good at interacting with wildlife in a way that's respectful to them. And I think that when intelligence allows you to be in space, because you're showing submissiveness and respect for the elephant space. And they're so intelligent.
Extraction is available.
You can get silent vibrations through the earth. They have matriarchal society. These big, weird heads, chunks, all those muscles. They're so different from us, but yet, I actually think that we grew up together. You know, they kind of raised us.
Tactical asset nearby.
We've inhabited the same epoch in history, and we've relied on those ecosystems that they've created, and I think that they have a deep understanding of humans, elephants, and I think I see them more like aliens, more like non-human beings, shared earth. So I don't see it as we're humans, they're animals. I actually see elephants as sort of a separate society, along with humans. It's one of the dominant species.
So almost every species, especially the intelligent ones, especially the big ones, are their own societies that open this kind of whole development.
Coordinates received. This is Pelican 1 returning to extraction radius.
There's those rare, no one's suggesting that sardines are, some kind of human rights or something, but I think that elephants need representation of governments because they influence their landscape, they influence their environment.
Firing orbital strike.
Families, they burial rituals, they're so nice. They're not famous and domesticated livestock. They're one of the treasures. I mean, look, let's just say
ETA T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds.
rivers, like mountains, rivers.
Take liberty.
Like you said,
No one trying to rearm. ETA T-minus 1 minute.
great stuff.
Deploying sentry.
Weird.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds.
How about a nice cup of liberty?
ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
How'd you like the taste of freedom?
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone. Firing orbital strike. Pelican 1 approaching pickup. This is Pelican 1 preparing for touchdown. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Eagle 1 armed and ready.
Victory was never in doubt.
Comfortable with your presence. You see how they start caring for their babies, or how they can get in. I once watched elephants around the water, just warthog. I don't know why, but this warthog decided he needed to get in. And there's this young male elephant, he kept turning around the warthog and screaming, "Don't make me do it." Now this elephant did not need to hurt the warthog. Warthog just, I need a drink, I need a drink. Watch this for drink. The elephant was like, you could just tell he was like, watch this. And he just went fine and crushed the warthog like it was a big deal. And crushed his pelvis, and the warthog dragged itself away on his front legs and probably wanted to die. But this young elephant put out his ears and he like paraded around with his tail out and he's like, destruction. And it's like that's a very relatable type of. He was annoyed with them, and walking with a herd of semi-wild elephants that were crossing through a village in India because elephants have lost a lot of their territory because there's so much.
HellDiver lost on that mission.
In India.
A result as glorious
The
as it
village
is.
was very delicate. Patriarchs are eating babies, villagers who have no idea what an elephant is, and they're watching out for patriarchs back this road.
The freedom of the galaxy remains in jeopardy. Let us join the fight. Countless opportunities for justice to be dispensed.
Her stomach, and the ranger there explains she's pregnant. They know she's pregnant. They can smell, they can tell, and they're curious. All the female elephants came to investigate the pregnant girl, and she had no idea what was going on. So it's like that stuff.
And it's to hear that, the crushing side of the young elephant. There's a complexity in behavior, just like with humans. And
Yeah, it's not as pretty.
that's the thing, man. Humans are capable of good and evil, and kind of attach these words. Love and there's just extreme difference. That one is sex.
That's a bamboo rat calling out for me. Yeah. Alright. Good luck, you buddy. Good opportunity.
Humans are capable of evil things and beautiful things. And I wonder if animals are the same. Do you think there's just different personalities and different life trajectories for animals? Like as they develop their understanding of social interaction, of survival, maybe even permanent concepts of right and wrong within the social system? Do you think there's a lot of diversity in personalities and behavior? Just like different people? Is there different elephants?
Of course. And what I really
Allied coordinates locked.
It's right and wrong because elephants have a code.
Initiating FTL jump to the errata system.
Is that as young males grow, they start developing these tusks. Tusks are a tool. They use them. So for Indian elephants, the females don't have tusks, the males do.
FTL jump successful.
Pick the males out of the herd.
Hellpods prime.
All sisters.
Mission coordinates locked.
Comes together, but the males are their own thing. So here's the thing. So what you get is these crews of male elephants. And the older males, this play fighting that goes on around them, and two young males can play fighting with the older males, they'll kick some ass. They'll show them how to behave. They'll explain who gets to talk to the females, who gets to interact, who gets to mate, who gets the best vegetation to eat. And so there's an order to language, and so young male elephants have to be taught how to act, just like a teenage human has to be taught. You can't just pull off and break the kids' nose. You gotta just get them out to whatever it is.
You are the best of the best. Live up to your name. Live up to freedom.
Watching advanced weaponry. Bug tunnel breach. Orbital inbound.
Firing orbital laser.
Yeah, the value of life is different.
Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying HellDivers.
It might be bigger and stronger.
Reloading.
A lot of people are trying to destroy
there was nothing happening, and then there was all of a sudden there was a cell. The cell had function, and then it complexified, and then it started reproducing. It found male and female parts, and what? Like you are so under-equipped to understand how very simple mathematics. You can see.
Reloading! Requesting orbital strike!
Firing orbital strike.
You get a lot of shit. And the force of the game that like colors.
Orbital inbound.
Not only they seems to be a thing that has I there's something that is that was supposed to be and that's the thing that created
Calling down a sentry.
that but
Requesting sentry.
imagine this world is 1.5 billion years old. Imagine walk up a planet like rain, and storms, and elements, and iron, random stuff. It's pretty easy to imagine. And then I remember that world because
Allied destroyer leaving squadron.
it was like fish born out of the primordial soup. It's like, bro, you just missed the most author of that book. I think the first bacteria came in around 3.7 billion years ago. And then we start seeing fossils, the first bacteria. Very, very long. Just bacteria. Just bacteria, but a lot of them.
I got the
A
terminal!
lot of them. There's probably a lot of innovation, a lot of murder, a lot of interaction. Yeah, and then I mean there's a big
Sending in an
leaps
eagle.
along the history, like on the the predator it's nice. Like predator prey, very complex, everything around us that has cells. It's just, it's wild. Even again, and I can imagine being on another planet and how incredibly valuable this thing would be. It's impossible to replicate. I'm looking at it through the candlelight right now, and I can see all of the structures and the incredible structures that look exactly like the veins in my own, which look exactly like the rivers that are flowing across this landscape. And it's like light has this overwhelming pattern that it uses. It's so beautiful. I just think it's when you imagine that the days of the lightning and the volcano and the primordial soup, there's a big gap there, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see how different answers there. Not to really spoil it. Postcards from Earth, the idea there is there's probes that are sent out from Earth to all these other planets, and each probe contains 2 humans.
Calling down a sentry.
And those are up. The thing, a couple of all these
nations, or the things that make life on Earth so conditions, love,
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
all that information is. And the postcard from Earth is those humans waking up, remembering all the information as Earth, that like a celebration of all the things that make Earth magical throughout its history, all the diversity of organisms, all of that. You're loading all that in to create life on that new planet, which is something I think civilizations are doing in sending probes all throughout the galaxy, and we just haven't arrived yet. But yet, that's so beautiful. And one of the things that I want to see that so much. And one of the things that I love about Aronofsky's work is the fountain. And what I find so beautiful about that is that now here he's saying, okay, we're sending probes out to other worlds, alien civilizations, and the fountain is this sort of, what I thought he did so beautifully was braid together those three stories where in one, I don't remember if he's in a spaceship or if that's supposed to be like his soul. The other one, he's a scientist and sort of like comparable time to ours, and then he's the Spanish explorer. But either way, there's the tree of life, and it's sort of together all of the major religions, and it made me think of that quote from Christ wasn't a Christian, Buddha wasn't a Buddhist, and Muhammad wasn't a Muslim. They were all just teachers who were teaching love. It's like the fountain sort of says nature
Requesting air support!
Trying to force, and it's our job to understand that the game is love, and that's what
Requesting air
the
support.
main character of the fountain needs to learn. That's this thing that there's so much you don't understand. Artists try to come up with a thing that is nature to a thing that we should understand. The complexity, the beauty of it. That's what they are, and also trying to do what's going to be that's the example. Actually, reading a book, that would be very interesting. When you do that in reading the books.
Calling down supplies!
How much do you think we understand about the history of life on Earth?
Sending out an SOS.
Got it all?
Requesting air support.
You know, when I've been calling there, Mr. Island and their environment. Their environment's
Sending in an eagle.
and that's why there's nobody on Easter Island. It's cautionary to now it's changed the way it's entered Africa, spreading, that we all spread out of Africa, and I see what every few years ago they changed it. So the guys, no, the guys 2 years ago, actually my new theory is the best theory. That's right, supposed to get me on. About how we got here, where we came from, and how we dispersed, and maybe even it's just like how we should use the Amazon. By people, so.
Yeah, I tend to believe that we mostly don't understand anything, but there is an optimism in continuously figuring out the puzzle. Sure. We all probably talked about the Graham Hancock Flynn thing.
Requesting sentry.
I like debates personally. So Flynn represents mainstream theology. I actually like.
Reloading!
Sweet liberty, the
Trying
blood!
to figure out history is still really trying to
Calling in reinforcements!
It's puzzle so that desperately putting on to do what's the lose is this possible application. And now with modern technology
Reporting to the front.
plus that you can use large amounts of data that's like imperfect but just scale and using that to reconstruct civilizations. So detailed kind of things they eat, how they interact with each other, how hard they create to when they exist in the environment. And that starts filling the gap of our understanding of still an era of large and large in terms of what really happened. And that leaves room for things like which I like also because it gives kind of humility about maybe there's giant things to talk about. That's always good to like remember.
it's confusing to me to imagine like what I don't even know what it did mean. What really what happened to it? They said that they were doing so good.
5 minutes left. We can't stay this low much longer, HellDiver.
Just through their societal structures and through their hunting practices that didn't really develop practices that kind of think before they can turn into larger
Falling
society.
down supplies.
Reloading!
That the Oriental tribes in South America just die at sea, much ours.
Pelican 1 returning to extraction point. Please ensure you're inside the extraction radius.
It's really past our grandparents.
This is Pelican 1, preparing for touchdown.
But do you know weird?
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds.
Landing in an eagle.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Return, refit, and redeploy to purge the stain of this failure with a peroxide of victory.
One of the things I thought, who do you think it's? I'm just throwing this question one after the other. Who do you think is the greatest approach?
What Shaq to can't even go there for I think Percy Boston in the Amazon was go in terms of just sheer the last of the Victorian era, march forward, go deeper, just stop at nothing, take such big risks that you never come back. It's hard for me to relate to that kind of exploration because this game is such a soft realism. Like even if you told me that I could leave Earth and go exploring and I could go touch the moon, I'd be like, nope. Absolutely not. The highway's dangerous enough. Like I would never risk dying in space. This guy left his home, went out into the jungle out there with horrendous gear compared to the camping gear we have today. No headlamp. And just explored for years.
Well, let me actually push back. Like, you have that explorer. There's definitely a thing in you, just me having observed you behave in the jungle and in the world. You're pulled towards exploration, adventure, towards the possibility of discovering something beautiful, including like a small little creature, or like a whole new part of the rainforest, part of the world that like is I think that's the same here. So maybe not going out to the stars.
Yeah.
Like, I can see you doing exactly the same thing. So you disappear. You're an expedition, which he didn't exist in the Amazon rainforest. So there's that length of what to go. There.
Welcome aboard, HellDiver. Now that you're here, the war is as good as won.
They said he ran to contact the tribes and started.
Every sector in the galaxy must be purged of the alien menace.
Like the tribes were ready to kill him. He started moving, like doing a song and a dance, just being ridiculous. And the tribes were like, "What now?" And they're like, "Wait, don't shoot him yet." That's a funny one. Yeah, they actually kind of like on a human level used humor to save his own life on multiple occasions. To the point where he de-escalated the situation. It's like, we're not here to fight. We're here to have a pile of maps. All my guys have very, very dengue and malaria. Like, we're dying here. You guys just go on your merry way. We're going our merry way. And, like, incredible. He was so tough. And then that guy from Shackleton's expedition ended up on one of Lawson's expeditions. So he's a proven explorer. He's been through the Antarctic. I was absolutely.
The hour of our next victory rapidly approaches. Let us cleanse the galaxy of alien scum.
Out of a machete in this environment. And you know that. That tangle, to just take 3 steps that way, I would immediately be taking off. I'm not wearing shoes right now. Yeah. Bullets, venomous things, spikes through my feet. tripping over myself. I don't have a headlamp. An unbelievable risk right there. I'm sitting on the edge of trash.
Can you explain what the purpose of the machete in this situation is? Like, what is the machete for? How does it allow you to navigate this essentially dense environment?
So, this is the tool that I spend most of my life carrying. This is
Allied destroyer coordinates received.
And in the
Initiating FTL jump to the Pandion system.
that you have to cut through, and like a Jaguar and Oscar that are more horizontally based and low to the ground, they can make it like when we got stuck.
FTL jump successful. Hellpods prime.
And there's as you hit them,
Mission coordinates locked.
spikes, and then one piece falls and pull the train vine that has spikes on it that hits you in the neck, and it just the jungle is savage to humans. But if you are with a rope, jack, or deer, you can kind of slip through this stuff. The deer develop really small animals. They can just kind of weave through, low to the ground. And so that's what rough means. It really helps.
Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying HellDiver to combat zone.
This is it. This is the solemn duty for which you were born. Defend democracy at any cost.
Machete through water. The other message about that patient without his head, he kept moving. So he was just using, I guess, his nervous system. Yeah, that.
Well, let's explain. See, the way the machete hit this,
Liberty take me! Not today!
Point me to the enemy. Bug tunnel breach! Reloading! Requesting sentry! Sending in an eagle! An entire structure destroyed. Get some! Get some!
Tagging map. North, 100 meters. Reinforcing.
Machete
Calling in orbital strike!
Calling in orbital strike.
There's like a tree that kind of failed.
Rare sample collected!
Sending in an eagle.
Yeah. That makes it just makes no sense. It's like some kind of trees coming out of the sky. I don't really quite understand.
Sample collected!
These trees that trees come up.
Yeah, that whole thing is strength of things. So, strength of things, as you go across the world ecosystem, that whole belt, you know, with the Amazon, Congo, Indonesia, all across the troposphere, strength of things. And the amazing things that this species does to become a keystone species across the planet. The hyper
Calling in reinforcements.
wherever it is. So, you create the dry sea, the rest of the water.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched. Reinforcing! Reinforcing!
It's just tricking the animals. Plants are tricking the animals, carrying their seeds to another tree. So they're getting free transportation. The monkey takes a poop on another tree after
Dropping a pin.
strangler
West,
sends
100.
out its vines, gets to the ground, and then as soon as it begins sucking out nutrients,
Reinforcing!
eats that tree. Like, where those hyper drop around the trunk of that tree, and eventually you gotta move stuff to the top. Whereas
Terminate hive structure
the
destroyed.
tree falls over the light down. So this whole thing is an energy economy. Everything is just trying to get sunlight. So strength
Bug
is
outpost.
top down trees, parasitic top down inside trees.
Calling in reinforcements! Rare sample collected! Your hand free! Bug tunnel free!
Green hell. Jungle as this. Nothing to eat. Everything is killing you. I think
Reloading!
then beneath the sand there's turtles. And inside the nuts on the ground are broken. And if you really need to, you can just jump on a cave and eat that. Tail pretty full meat. So there's actually unending amounts of food. So it's this
If you're able to
Reinforcing!
that we can see it like you are able to the
Tagging map, northwest, 200 meters.
Allied destroyer leaving squadron.
Found something!
Bug hive spotted! Prepare to exterminate!
yes, we're coming in.
Calling down supply!
We're coming down here with ice. So my dead ass opinion of the jungle that's what it says. And so Prison Blossom is coming down here with this view of it's trying to kill us at all times. We are flying down.
Calling in reinforcements!
Superior medicines and our ability to survive infections. And so it is difficult.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
But Fawcett, to me, looks like the last of like
Found something!
Requesting advanced weaponry.
Bug hive!
Dropping a pin. Northeast, 50 meters.
And it's very hard for me to identify what
Requesting orbital strike!
Allied destroyer joining squadron. Deploying HellDiver to combat zone.
just like the conquistador. It's like the conquistador showed up.
Tagging map, northwest, 100 meters.
2,000 first day. They marched to this city. Can you imagine yourself just like...
Calling down a sentry! Calling in orbital strike!
Grab an error.
Yeah, it's
Found something!
But different values. Different values.
Different relationship with violence. Value like value.
Sending in an eagle.
HellDivers never die! Calling in orbital strike!
These people were so...
Calling in reinforcements.
Such a normal part of their... the Spartans, the mansions, they so...
Point me to the enemy!
In this elevator, it's celebrating. The rest of is like taking that machete and murdering me.
Sending in an eagle!
Unleashing democracy.
That's called democracy! Reloading!
Number of the other get murdering you with a machete.
Eagle 1 rearming. Be back shortly.
Said, IDMs are filled with take care of lives, don't move
Requesting orbital
them.
strike.
We love lives. Make sure you won't.
Requesting air support.
Got a sample!
Meanwhile, I murdered your number of blood.
Requesting orbital.
in a pinch. Fine. Bag's empty. Reloading. Marching orbital strike. Marching orbital strike. Calling in reinforcements!
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Tagging map, southwest, 200 meters.
Allow you to go access the spirit and see the energetic shades that talk to the gods. That's almost enough to inspire the thought itself. Exactly. The trial and error, it would take like millions of years. All that.
Sending in an eagle.
Places with naked native tribes and systems, Great Davis comes back. A lot of the same. Now there's missionaries who start in the 90s, whatever, the 70s, the Western stuff has made it in.
Crossing sentry!
Contact. A lot of them been thousands and thousands of years that have gone into
Package acquired. Calling in orbital strike. Package acquired. Launching orbital strike. Bag's empty. Requesting air support.
This goes together. Through the jump, she comes as a lead. That's how people build this.
Sending in an eagle.
They didn't remember it from their ancestors. Who I lost. What? Some of them are terrifying things. And ayahuasca takes you on a
Package fire.
you sit there and the sound guide you through that. But in my experience here, you're so deep inside, like falling through depths, out in space, no falling through the jungle, right? It's like it's really, really powerful. It's not like the recreational drugs that everyone does. Like it's all like mushrooms, and I can see, so I can see.
Calling in orbital strike.
Fire in the hole!
Requesting air support.
Calling in orbital strike!
Orbital strike incoming.
That's the thing. Ayahuasca to me, you know, I kind of told you about like, that experience with things.
Mission at 20 minutes remaining.
Strike!
Calling in reinforcements.
The scariest parts of the universe to sort of be like, here's something.
Orbital inbound.
That's where I came up with my idea that, you know, like deep space, or just space, outer space, it's just the outside of the universe. This is it. Because when I was on ayahuasca, I was one of the jungle creatures, and I wasn't tall. I didn't have anything. And for a few times, I saw many things. I arrived at this spot in the jungle, there was a big tree, and all the animals there, they were all not equal, not any language.
Requesting air support!
They were all discussing what to do.
Delivering payload.
Dropping package.
It's all
Package acquired.
Objective located. North.
Eagle 1 leaving combat zone to resupply.
Reloading!
That being silence for years. And that was terrifying.
Rare sample collected!
I can remember my own name. Well, interesting, but get back inside the video game.
Requesting advanced weaponry. Dropping package. Calling down a sentry.
No, there's a main player usually there. I don't think about it. Yeah, somebody's there. Just like Halo, where you can
Heavy! Stop.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna take a stand.
Santa. North.
I'm sick of fucking playing that way. I think it's because people live indoors and find little boxes and things, everything is real. And it starts to do the living side of simulation. No characters back up and down things in the living side of simulation.
Heavy. Southwest. 100 meters.
They understand the physics, how hard it is to get the basic rules of the wind.
Sending in an eagle.
Play by the medicine. Simulation, to me, that's the
I'm on it.
side to parody itself. When I have nothing in my life is this thing real? And again, go out and see it. Go out and get what's under that.
Requesting orbital strike.
This is Eagle 1. We're back in business.
Reloading!
Requesting spotted. Prepare to exterminate.
Avoiding the interaction with the water.
How'd you like to taste of speed?
Dropping a pin. South. 200 meters. Tracking location. Southwest.
Tunnel 3!
Southwest. Close.
Here on the other one, full of relief and celebration.
Yeah, there's this thing that they say that all the pleasure are derived from the transitions. When you're cold, warm feels good. When you're hot, cold feels good. Hungry, food feels good. And when you're that
Calling in orbital strike.
so like,
Sending in an eagle.
and as I was out there, so like we're doing levels, like how would you describe the physicality of it?
Well, it's something that I haven't trained. I don't even know how you would train that kind of thing. But it's extremely dense jungle, so every single step is like completely unpredictable in terms of the terrain your foot interacts with. So the different variety of slippery that is the floor is fascinating. Some things, I mean, the slope matters. Some dudes are free, slippery, and whatnot. Some leave on the ground or desire grooves instead of leaving grooves of the shallow hole that you hear some leaves and vegetation covering up a hole that you fall through like putting a
Calling in orbital strike!
Tagging men. 300 meters.
for sure there's so many layers of avoiding dangers, small dangers, there's like a mental exhaustion.
Requesting sentry! Bug high spotted!
Calling in orbital strike.
It's like there's moments where you
Democracy has landed! Sending in an eagle!
Coming in hot.
it's up, in our particular situation, up and down,
Dropping a pin. Northeast. 50 meters.
no water. It's more difficult. Let's describe what the plan is.
Reloading. Last reload.
But then also, real views. It's like, and also just like
Calling in extraction! Calling down a sentry!
Extraction shuttle inbound.
the humbling sight of the tree. It's both humbling in that like that tree is real. It's time
Requesting air support!
lifetime. And
How'd you like to taste of freedom?
those things we feel small and
Enemy down, baby.
20 seconds.
I would just.
Calling down a support weapon.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone. Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
I mean, we were in the river, in the
Get some! Get some!
Countdown initiated. Stand by for takeoff.
like field and everything. And it's just black.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Victory was never in doubt.
Three friends in the river just laughing. Yeah. Because we were safer in that river than we had been in there, and we were rejoicing that the thunderstorm was compared to the war zone that we've been living in. The thunderstorm was safe. It really was a beautiful moment.
And also that like very different life trajectories have taken these three humans to this one place.
Yeah.
It's like what
Yeah.
is this universe that would like it's really kind of like those moths. You know what I mean? Like we come from some weird place on this earth and we have all kinds of shit happen to us and we're all pursuing some shit, some light, and we ended up here together enjoying this moment.
Yeah.
By something else. It felt absurd. And in that absurdity was this like really human. And damn, water tasted good.
Man, water and those little oranges.
Yeah.
Those things, and then I would just say like I feel like running, like no matter how much I run, you work out and just and maybe all people who do ultras feel this, but like I felt like we woke up, it was like, you know, wake up at dawn, 6 a.m. Let's start walking, you know, break camp, go. And it's like pretty much you just don't stop all day. And it's level 10 cardio.
Welcome aboard, HellDiver. We can never have
sweating buckets and there's no water. It's like you would never put yourself through that voluntarily. You could. You would never have the resolve to continue torturing yourself. Except for that we were trying to make
that quickly.
To free.
Well done.
To get out. And it's like the obsession of that.
HellDivers, a second galactic war is upon us. Thugs and bots both menace democracy's heart.
I think there was like, we were like laughing, enjoying ourselves moments before, and once you go in, you're like, oh shit. And you just come face to face with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what, you know, whatever that is in humans that goes to that, that's what the explorers do. But, you know, and the best of them do it to the extreme levels.
Well, I think that what we did was to a pretty extreme level because we left the safety of a river, of knowing where we were, and voluntarily got lost in the Amazon with very little provisions. On a very, now that we're back, now that we experienced what we experienced, I really can't stop thinking about how fucking stupid it was that we did that. Because if we had gotten lost, Pico was saying to me, even if one of you had broken your leg, it's, you know, days in either direction. Even if they had sent help for us, help would take how long to scour all that jungle? Sound doesn't travel. Even a helicopter, even if they looked for us, they wouldn't be able to see us. How would we signal for help? Can't really build a fire, and so it's like, if anything had gone wrong, if we'd gone a few degrees different to the west, it would have taken us 2 more days. If we'd gotten injured, it'd be carried through that. Yeah. And so somehow only afterwards am I really going, oh, thank God we got out of this. Thank God. After I see so many people going, make sure but nothing happens to Lex Friedman.
Yeah.
I'd be the deadest motherfucker on earth.
It somehow works out.
It does seem to somehow work out.
Let me ask you about Jane Goodall, another explorer of a different kind. What do you think about her? About her role in understanding this natural world of ours?
I think that Jane is like a living historical treasure. Like I think somehow she's alive, but she's already reached that level where it's like Einstein, Jane Goodall. Like there's these incredible minds. And you know, growing up as a child, my parents would read to me because I was so dyslexic. I didn't learn to read until I was quite old. And my mom was a big Jane Goodall fan, and all I wanted to hear about was animals. And so I would get read to about this lady named Jane Goodall, this girl who went to Africa and studied chimps and who broke all the rules and named her study subjects, even though that wasn't what she was supposed to do. And she became this incredible advocate for Earth and for ecosystems and she seemed to realize as her career went on that teaching children to appreciate nature was the key. Because they're going, you know, that thing where she says we don't so much inherit the earth from our ancestors, but borrow it from our children. We're just here, we're just passing through. So if we destroy it, we're dimming the lights on the lives of future generations. And so she's been really, really cognizant of that. She's been a light in the darkness. She's sort of, in terms of saying that animals have personalities and culture and their own inalienable rights and reasons for existing, and that human life is valuable. She's very big on that. Every day we influence the people around us and the events of the earth, even if you feel like your life is small and insignificant, that you do have an impact. And I think that's a really powerful little candle out there in the darkness that Jane carries.
What do you think about her field work, the chimps?
Badass. The fact that she did what she did at the age that she did, at the time that she did, is incredible. It's actually incredible. She has that explorer gene, and she also has that relentlessness is like this incredible quality. She just, you know, she travels 300 days a year, educating people, talking around the world, trying to help bolster conservation now before it's too late. And traveling 300 days a year is not fun. Traveling at all can be not fun.
So I started reading The River of Doubt, book you recommended to me on tape as well.
Yeah.
So that guy is badass on many levels. But I didn't realize how much of a naturalist he was, how much of a scholar of the natural world he was. So that book details his journey into the Amazon jungle. What do you find inspiring about Teddy Roosevelt and that whole journey of just saying fuck it, of going to the Amazon jungle, taking on that expedition?
Well, I mean, Teddy Roosevelt, you could write volumes on what's inspiring about him. I think that, you know, he was a weak, asthmatic little rich kid that wasn't physically able, that had no self-confidence, and he was very, and he had pretty severe depression. He had tragedy in his life. He was very, at least for me, he's been one of the people, like one of the first historical figures where he wrote about the struggle to overcome those things, and to make himself from being a weak, asthmatic little teenager to sort of strengthening himself and building muscle, becoming this barrel-chested lion of a guy who could be the president, who could be an explorer, and one of the Rough Riders. And he's just everything he does is so hyperbolically, you know, incredible. To come out of war and have the other people you fought with go, this guy has no fear. I mean, he must have just been a psychopath and had no fear. And then proving it further was that thing where he was going to give a speech to a bunch of people and he got shot in the chest.
Yeah,
and it went through his spectacle case and through his speech. And even though the bullet was lodged in his chest, this man said, "Don't hurt the guy that shot me." I believe he asked him, "Why'd you do it?" And then as he's bleeding and in the rain, said, "No, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm going to keep going with the speech." What a badass. That's incredible.
But going to the jungle on many levels is really difficult for him at that time. There's so many more things even than now that can kill you. All the different infections, everything. And the lack of knowledge, just the sheer lack of knowledge. But that truly is an expedition. A really, really challenging expedition. So there's lessons about what it takes to be a great explorer from that. The perseverance. How important do you think is perseverance and exploration, especially through the jungle?
I think it's all there is. If you hear about the people, and I think that is a tremendous metaphor for life, because whether you hear about that plane that crashed in the Andes and people were alone and freezing and they had to eat each other, and Some of them made it out. Some of them kept the fire burning. And Teddy Roosevelt voluntarily, after being president, threw himself into the Amazon rainforest and survived. Came so close to dying, but survived. And so perseverance is all of it. I mean, that's I think that's our quality as a human.
So they also mapped. So on the biology side, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But they mapped and documented a lot of the unknown geography and biodiversity. What does it take to do that? So when I see movie about the jungle, you're always like, you capture a creature, take a picture, write down, like, so you can find new creatures, find new things about the jungle, document them, sort of a scientific perspective on the jungle. But back then, there's even less known, much less known about the jungle. So what do you think it takes to document, to map that world, that new unexplored wilderness?
I mean, they're clearly pressing botanical specimens. They're probably shooting birds, and Roosevelt knew how to preserve those specimens. I mean, he really was a naturalist, so he knew exactly. So if he's seeing these animals, to them, whereas we'll take a picture and identify it, they were harvesting specimens, taking them with them, drying them out. For them, it was totally different, and it could be the first. You know, there's, I don't know, I forget what JJ said. There's something like 70 species of ant birds here. It's like, so how likely are you to be the first person to ever see this one species of bird? And so for them, you have this bird, it's perfectly preserving that specimen. And I think a lot of non-scientific people don't realize that every species, from blue whale to elephant to blue jay to sparrow, whatever it is, whatever species we have on record, they're scientific specimens. And the first people to see them shot them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the museums are filled with these catalogs, preserved birds that these explorers brought back from New Guinea and South America and Africa, and then put into these drawers, and now we labeled them, and we said, this is, this is red and green macaw, this is scarlet macaw, this is the brown crested ant bird, and this is, and it's just categorized.
That book of birds you have, like encyclopedia of birds. What?
The human achievement in these pages.
The people listening, all just flipping through a huge number of pages. These are just, is this in the Amazon or is this in Peru?
This is just here. This is birds of Peru. It's pages on pages of toucans and arasaris and hummingbirds and antbirds and smoky brown woodpecker and tropical red-headed bird, by the way. It's endless. Who knew there were so many birds? I had no idea there were so many birds.
Documenting all of that. I mean, there's also, which we got to experience, you're pretty good at it also, is actually understanding and making the sounds of the different birds. What's your favorite bird sound to make?
Undulated tinamou, because in the crepuscular hours of WS, they're usually the ones that make up what is considered by many to be the anthem of the Amazon.
Can you do a little bird?